Drive a Chevy. It's time for a fresh approach and a new perspective. And find the Chevy that's right for you. Find new experiences, find new roads. Chevrolet.
Hey, welcome back, sports fans, to the Missouri Sports Network, MissouriSportsNetwork.com, where everyone has a home field advantage. Brought to you by Central Bank of the Ozarks, also presented by Luna Labor's Local 663, who reminds us to drive safely in those work zones. Those folks want to go home to their families as well. Also presented by the Bank of Billings. Bank of Billings established 1889, the oldest bank in Christian County. Staying on task here with our fall sports previews, we go to Blue Springs South High School, home of the Jaguars, and we welcome in Blue Springs South head softball coach Kristina Williams. Coach Williams, thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you for having me. Appreciate it.
Well, Coach, 7 of the last 8 Final Fours, 3 of the last 5 state championships, including a runner-up finished a year ago, 27-3 a year ago. Talk about last season, what you lost to graduation, and who are some of the young ladies going to have to step in and fill some big roles this year for the Jaguars?
Yeah, so last season was a great one. We came up a little bit short, but that's okay. Francis Howell, they came out to play that day, and they had a great day, and they have a super talented team as well. We just lost 7 seniors. 6 of them had started at least since their sophomore year. 2 of them had started since their freshman year. So a lot of people say that we're rebuilding this year. We did lose some all-staters. We lost 4 all-staters in Abby Wilhelm, Maddie Duvall, Madison Hoffman, and I guess we only lost 3 all-staters. One of them is still back. Cameron Waters will be back in our outfield. And then we have some great seniors who are going to step into some roles, and a couple that are going to continue their roles. Like I said, Cameron Waters, she's a junior. She's going to come back and probably anchor our outfield. Ava Wilmus will be back at first base. And so those 2 are really going to be pretty good anchors for us. Michaela DeVille is another senior that's going to step into an everyday role. Last year, she did whatever it was that we needed her to do whenever we needed her to do it. She would play outfield when Madison was pitching. So she's going to step into that everyday role, and I know she's super excited about that. And then we have some other kids like Kaylee Norris and Allie Riggins. And then we've got a undefeated JV team from last year that are going to be vying for the rest of the spots. So we've got a super, super talented young group of kids. We're going to have a new pitching staff, a new catching staff, but we're going to have some really good leadership pieces heading into this year. And I can't wait to see what they're able to do.
Coach, as you look at your schedule coming up this season, kick off on the 30th there in the Midwest round robin. Kind of talk a little bit about your schedule and the tournaments that you're involved in, and maybe how your schedule maybe has changed a little bit.
I try not to change my schedule a whole lot just because I like the level at which we play. We try to go out and play the hardest schedule we possibly can. We have the MOS round robin is something that we started last year, and we expanded it this year. We'll play Park Hill South. We'll play Rockbridge while we're there. We'll play Stillwater High School out of Oklahoma. They're coming up to play some schools. And then we come home for a couple of games just in the greater Kansas City area. We'll play Grain Valley. And then we go back out on the road to Omaha, which is one of that Katie Williams Invite in Omaha is probably the premier high school fall tournament of the season. They have teams come in from Oklahoma, Missouri, Colorado, and then Nebraska. They almost pulled a Georgia school this year, but travel obviously from Georgia is difficult to the Midwest. But it's the amount, just the sheer talent that you see at that tournament. We get all the Division I coaches because it happens over that September 1 week. And so we get all the Division I coaches from that area, and they all show up at that high school tournament because it is the premier tournament in the fall. And then and we'll play some great schools. We'll play Gretna while we're there. We're playing Papillion La Vista while we're there. We'll play Millard West. We'll play several other great schools I know. And it's the whole point of playing the schedule that we play, especially at the beginning of the year, is for one to get us ready for conference, but also to get us ready for that home stretch at the end of the season. We just really try to challenge the kids as much as possible early. We may not come out of that week like we did last year, these first 2 weeks. We may not come out of it, 12-2. We may come out of it 8-4, and that's going to be okay because, like I said, we got a lot of new kids. They're going to be learning their roles. We're going to be learning who we are as a team. It's just not going to be as plug and play as maybe it was last year. And so this year, I'm just really excited to see what these kids can do. And I know that they're super excited to get the opportunity. And then, and then we go into I guess I didn't finish talking about my schedule. Then we go to conference tournament or go to conference play. And that pretty much takes up the rest of our time because we have a 8-team conference. So that pretty much takes up the rest of our schedule. And then, we just start to gear up, trying to be our best time.
As I looked at your record from last year, excluding the state championship game with Francis Howe, your only other 2 losses were in Nebraska at that tournament or against teams from that tournament. You kind of mentioned your conference schedule. Kind of handicap your conference a little bit, who's in it, and who are going to be some of the challenges there.
Okay, so we're in the Greater Kansas City. We are in the Gold Division, Greater Kansas City Conference, because I know there's people from all over the state that watch this. Greater Kansas City Suburban Conference is actually 24 schools, and then it's divided into 4 divisions. So we're in the Gold Division, so we're the highest division, and it's 8 schools. So it's Blue Springs South, Blue Springs, Lee Summit West, Lee Summit North, Staley, Liberty North, and Raymore Peculiar. Obviously, everybody's looking at Raymore Peculiar to come back and have another great season with the kids that she has there and the crazy talent that she's got on that team. And Allie Jo does a phenomenal job with that group, and she's just a great young coach. She's definitely somebody to keep an eye on as a young coach. She does a great job. So everybody's kind of looking at Ray Peck as like, hey, that's the team. And other than that, I think our conference is pretty wide open, really. We're all kind of in the same spot. We all lost. The rest of us all, we all had a fairly big group, the last group of seniors the last couple of years. So some of us are still in that trying to figure out who we are situation. And, I just can't wait till this time next week or really till the end of next week, whenever I finally kind of figure out who my team is so that we can figure out where to go from here. And I know that the other coaches in the conference are feeling the exact same way. They just can't wait to get on the field and figure out who those kids are that are going to take us through the season and, see what we can do. See if we can make this happen. But coming off of 3 straight conference championships, we're going to look a little different, but I think we can make a run at it. And I think we can be seriously competitive for it again for a 4th year.
Again, visiting with Blue Springs South head softball coach Christy Williams here on the Missouri Sports Network, MissouriSportsNetwork.com, where everyone has a home field advantage. So now you're in the dead week here, as everyone in the state is in every fall sport. What do you do during this time? Obviously you can't have any contact with your kids, you can't practice. Are you vacationing? Are you working on the field? What's it like during dead week for a head softball coach?
Well, back in the day when I had dirt, I was probably working on the field, but now that I got turf, I don't have to do that. It's been a while since I've had to do field work the week before, or looking at the weather report every single day. Right now, I'm just looking at the heat, but it looks pretty good for next week, so I'm pretty excited about that. Rain, there's a couple days for rain, but so it's looking at a lot of weather reports. I actually just got back late last night from Louisville. We had our National Fast Pitch Coaches Association Board of Directors meeting in Louisville this last weekend. So got to spend some time with some awesome Division 1, 2, 3 NAIA JUCO coaches, trying to figure out kind of the direction of our sport over the next year. What are we going to work on? What are the things that we're going to do? And so that's kind of nice because it kind of kicks off my season. And I get to really I come back kind of all charged up because I'm ready to go from being around those amazing people for a few days. So that's really what I'm doing. I'm getting my kids ready to go back to school. My daughter's getting ready to go away to college. So I'm gonna get her. So I'm getting her ready to go. I have an 11-year-old. He's getting ready to start third grade, or not third grade, fifth grade. He's getting ready to start fifth grade, and so it's just doing all the mom stuff before my husband becomes a single dad for 3 months.
Very good. Very good. Well, Coach, as always, I greatly appreciate you being generous with your time here during a week of vacationing, so to speak, in Louisville, and then coming back and preparing. But always good to catch up with you, and hopefully during the season at some point we can get you and some of the young ladies on and kind of feature team of the week.
Absolutely, I'm all for it.
Well, Coach, thank you so much for your time, and keep it right here at the Missouri Sports Network. If there's anything ever we can do for you to help promote a kid or maybe someone that's off at college or maybe just a special event, let us know, and we'll make sure we get it out to the state.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Appreciate everything you do for our sport and our kids.
Thank you, Coach. Couldn't do it without you.
Thank you.
Hey, you're watching the Missouri Sports Network, MissouriSportsNetwork.com, where everyone has a home field advantage. And as always, Lionel Labor's Local 663 and the Missouri State Highway Patrol remind us to take that 3 seconds